is. Wait,
Yeah.
there it is. All right, and we're back.
Hey, all right.
I thought I didn't hear it for a minute.
Yeah. Let's see if we got
Happy
folks rolling. Yep.
Thursday.
Yeah. My Thursdays have gotten kind of interesting because I mentioned this on a previous stream where I discovered that I can work and drink in the bar at the same time. And so it's really a good idea to do both. Well, maybe not the drinking part, but like it feels like I'm getting out even though I'm working. So I'm getting a lot done.
Yeah.
It's working out pretty well.
It's double whammy. Like you're taking care of two businesses, so to speak.
Yeah, I
Drinking
feel like
and working.
Yeah, because I work at home all day too. So it's like I got to get out, man. Like if I don't leave the house, I don't see other people.
Well, not that I have enough to do, but I've added to my band of 20 years ago. Decided to play one show, so we've been practicing on Wednesdays now. And then so my other band that I'm in currently that we play out all the time is on Thursdays after this. So yeah, I need more stuff to take up.
Yeah. Well, you weren't busy enough already. Yeah,
it's too much fun. I can't do it. Yeah. Oh yeah, it's fun.
Yeah, if it's easy and fun.
I'm nervous about the show. I mean, we haven't played together in 20 years. We've practiced 3 times now. It's like, all right, let's get the rust out.
Do you guys have any kind of a following that is likely to show up at this or no?
I mean, I bet there'll be some people there. You know, I don't know. We'll see. I mean, we'll see.
There's some guys
might be just us.
Yeah. Well, there's some local guys here that like. I mean, I think they broke up. Like, they're a little bit older than me. And I couldn't go to bars anyway until I graduated college, but I'd heard about these guys. And right around the time I moved back home, they decided, hey, well, we're not going to make it on this music thing, so let's go get jobs. And but they, one of them like doesn't even live in town anymore, but apparently at least one of them doesn't. But they're all back around Christmas time, so every year they usually play a Christmas show. Oh, and every year it's like 300 people show up, and it's just wild because they nice kind of following. So that's why I was wondering. I was hoping the same thing happened with you played.
We're playing at this tiny bar that this band hasn't played in probably, I mean, I'm gonna say 25 years. I mean, it's been a long time, so we'll see. But yeah, I mean, we're gonna have fun, so it don't matter.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, it's real good that you had some spare time somewhere.
Yeah. Well, the drummer texted me. He's moving out of the state, and he's like, I want to play one last show. And I had been drinking at the other band practice, so that's why I said, yeah, I'll do it. Yeah. I mean, I'm glad I said yes, but I would have probably said no.
Not the same answer, sober. Yeah. That happens to me a lot. I mean, the number of times I've agreed to stuff on text late at night, and then I'm like, the next morning, I'm like, who was I talking to last night? And I roll back like, no, I'm on the hook for something on Saturday now.
I was talking to another commitment. Here we go.
Yeah, whoops. Oh, well. But yeah, so, well, cool, man. Well, I hope that works out real well. I'm going to come up and check out a show sometime because, like, I don't live that far away.
Heck yeah.
Dude, at some point.
Should.
Yeah, my May.
Why don't you have us play your FARC party, my hillbilly band?
We probably should, actually. I was thinking about definitely having Scalzi come down and do DJ too.
DJ?
Yeah. For folks in the audience, that's the October 12th, 25th anniversary of FARC Party. I've actually got a couple of ideas on that. So we're doing a stage thing. And I was trying to think, so we're probably just going to do some version of the live stream unless like something better shows up. Like if anybody really famous is like, yeah, I'll come down there for free and do something. Well, then we'll turn it into that. But plan B is we'll live stream on the stage and do the show. And there's going to be time for something like that. So yeah.
Yes. That'd be cool.
Yeah. But we're going to try to get Scalzi. I've got a soft commit from him. So that'll be fun as hell.
That guy's busy.
Yeah, he is. He'll be around for that. The only problem I got is I don't know how many people are coming. So it's anywhere from the number of people talking about it leads me to believe that we might have a lot of people, but I don't want to like go there yet because that's like money.
Yeah, 1,000 people.
Yeah. Well, luckily, like Lexington has enough venues to handle it. Like I'm looking at the Lyric right now, which is like 500 people. That's like that would be great. But if for some reason we blow past that, there's a 1,000-person venue down the street. And if we blow past that, there's a 2,000. I don't think anything's going on rough that night, but I don't want to be looking at that.
It's going to be tickets or just come as you are type thing?
It's going to probably tickets. Just I got to have some idea. It's like who's showing up.
He booked the 1,000 venue and 25 show. That's different.
Exactly. So we got a question on the floor. Isn't Lucky somewhat famous? Yeah, he is. He is. There's a range of famous though that goes, really high. And
from Drew down.
No, it's not me. No, I'm like I tell people, it's like if I'm famous, I'm like C-list at best. I'd say Lucky's like, I think more people know who he is than me for sure. So he's got it going. But but there's other people though that would be like total headliners. I don't have any expectation that any of them are going to say sure, because again, like they're busy, they do this for a living and they make money. So it's a hard ask to be like, hey, famous person, come on down to Kentucky and like do a show, and then maybe I can pay you, but I don't know. And
only a fool would miss this event.
Yeah. So there's a great example. So I as Shrek fan is saying, John Hodgman. Now I haven't talked to him. I can send him a text. Like, actually, I don't really bother because I think John's like, I like he's working, but I'm gonna ask, and it's like, again, not the most famous guy, but also he's awesome. But there's like, levels up there. Maybe, who knows? Yeah, exactly. And at Palmstorm. So I don't know. We'll see. Once I figure out who's coming, that's when it's all going to change. But basically, if absolutely nothing happens, we're going to do some version of this for an hour, and then and probably some other stuff. I mean, not just that. So, yeah.
Cool.
I thought about throwing it up in like an old-fashioned talent show. Like, go ahead. What do you got? Do anything.
That would be so good. That'd probably be really fun.
It would be actually really fun. I bet it would work. So
you find out some talents you didn't want to know about, maybe.
Oh, dude, like we had this one guy. I don't think he's still a regular right now, but his name was something like Staple Guy or something. And everybody thought it was a joke because his persona appeared to be somebody who was really into staples. Staplers, I mean. So it turns out this guy called into a radio show I was doing once. And then they asked him about it. They're like, so, like, are you really into staplers? And he's like, oh, yeah. And then they're like, okay, well, tell us something about it. And he went on for like 10 minutes. Yeah, Stapler Mofo, that's who. Yeah. He did. He 10 minutes improv, like, tell us something interesting about staplers, and off he went. I was like, wow. Like, this guy's not kidding.
Hey, Monty had a good idea. If you have a talent show, we need a big, giant gong.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Gong show.
Yeah. If we were going to do that, what I'd like to do is, like get some people so we would know in advance, like the crowd wouldn't know, but like I'd rather than gong somebody off who's actually trying hard.
They're trying. Okay, yes.
Yeah, get out there and don't try hard. Like, but we
like
need
if you gong our band, we're just gonna make that part of the song. We're not stopping.
Yeah. So that's exactly it. So like I wouldn't mind people like give me something that sucks, but I don't want to gong anybody who's trying hard, even if it's bad.
Right. That's good of you, Drew. Take the high road.
Yeah, it's the way to go. But it can be funny as long as the audience has no idea it works. So,
yeah.
Cool, man. Well, we had some news this week, and I kind of teased this on the newsletter. It got a little political, unfortunately. It's kind of getting to be that time of year, like we got a presidential election, and I think by October we won't be talking about anything else unless something else pops off weird.
Right.
But so I was like, okay, well.
Here we go. RFK Jr. says doctors found a dead worm in his brain.
Yes.
You got some zingers for me to read today? I bet you do.
Have you ever heard the word zinger used in the context that isn't political? Because I haven't. It's like they got their own vocabulary. It's only a zinger if it's about politicians. Otherwise, like it's a weird snack cake that Little Debbie makes or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, so RFK Jr. This is actually interesting. We'll do the article and then I'll run the meta on it because the meta is always the interesting part. So the article is that the New York Times has discovered that in a court deposition that he made during his divorce back in 2012, and bookmark that because that's relevant to the meta. He popped off and said that doctors had at some point discovered that he had a dead worm in his brain and he had surgery to have the dead worm taken out.
Oh my God.
Yeah. He also said he had mercury poisoning.
Is this real? What is going on here?
Well, so yeah, you could tell by the what happened next. So at any rate, so it wasn't like this guy wasn't running for office at the time, but he was getting divorced and he was trying to claim that there's a lot of reasons why he's not going to be able to earn as much money, and therefore the ex-wife doesn't get it. And so part of the reason why this is relevant at any rate is because he said that between the dead worm they found in his brain, which apparently left like a big lesion up there, and the mercury poisoning, that he's got cognitive problems. And he said this 12 years ago. And cognitive problems.
The worm babies are feasting.
Yeah, well, it probably died of starvation, right? I mean, that's how the joke goes.
Right, they feasted.
Yeah.
It's gone.
Yeah, because I don't know, like a lot of people who aren't paying attention to politics don't know much about RFK Jr. other than sounds like he's a candidate. Yeah, he is. And that might lead people to believe that he's a good candidate. No, he's not. He's a wackadoodle moron. So don't worry about it.
Oh my God.
Yeah, he's crazy.
That's disgusting.
Yeah. So anyway, so we'll go to get into the meta in a second, but the New York Times is the one that surfaced this article, and so they contacted him and they asked him for comment, and his response was, and he posted it on Shitter. He said, I before the next debate, I will eat 5 more tapeworms, and even with 6 worms in my brain, I will win that debate. Is what he said.
Is that where the tapeworms go, to your brain, or is it?
Oh, yeah. The article says that apparently they can. I mean, they don't usually, but not like all the time. But they suspect that probably the most likely thing that happened is they said it was probably like one of the parasites you get from eating pork. And they can end up all over the place. Apparently, yeah, yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
well, so that's our politicians, ladies and gentlemen, run by an army of worms.
Yeah, exactly. So now we've got all 3 of them are in cognitive decline. So if you just flip the coin, I guess. But so what happened is that the meta on this is interesting. So whenever I read stuff like this, I'm like, what a weird thing to be popping up in the news cycle from 2012 and then show up like Wednesday. Like, what's going on there? Like, I don't believe for a minute the New York Times is like, hey, let's go pull RFK Jr.'s divorce records. And how about today we read that? No reason. We're just going to pull that out and then we're going to
slow news day.
Yeah, exactly. Well, what's probably going on here is that in campaigns, there's always opposition researchers. And they go and they read up on the other candidates and then they try to find bad stuff and then they kind of send it out. Now, I don't know which side dropped this because it could have been either of them. I don't even know if anybody did actually, because it's just weird and it could have just popped out anyway. But yeah, the timing's all real strange too. The only person it could possibly benefit is Kristi Noem, and for the reason why that is people have been, and I'm not saying she did it, but this is the only person who could have benefited is this gal.
Kristi Noem unleashes the dogs of war on the media.
Yeah, that sounds important, doesn't it? Yeah, and then she couldn't because she shot them all. So Kristi Noem has been trying to flog a book, and for some reason thought it was a great idea to write in that book that she had trouble training one of her dogs and decided that it was hopeless, and then took it outside and shot it in the head.
Yep.
It's weird because like she obviously thought that was some kind of flex, and I guess again, GOP being what it is, they probably actually. What's funny is Trump finally popped up today and said he thought that was great, so maybe it worked. He really did. He's like, I got no problem with that. Sometimes you got to shoot dogs, man. Like, okay.
I guess.
All
she
right.
is in.
Yeah. So, I mean, well, the funny thing is that Scalzi came up with something during the last 4 years called Trump's razor, which is the opposite of Occam's razor. It's basically when anything involves Trump, the dumbest possibility must actually be true. And so in this case, the dumbest possible pick for VP of the current names on the table that he could make is Kristi Noem.
Yes.
Yeah. And I'm like, oh,
why not? Why not just go on down the path?
Well, what's funny is that the reason it would be the worst pick, there actually is a practical reason. It turns out that there have been interviews. So Fox, Kristi Noem doesn't go on anything that isn't conservative media because she gets blown up, right? Well, she wasn't expecting that Fox News and even Newsmax gave her hell over this. They were like, why would you shoot a dog? Like, and also one of the two groups, I don't remember which one it was, and I want to say it was Newsmax, said that they've been fielding hundreds and thousands of calls from people saying if she's Trump VP, they're not voting for Trump. Good.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's not good for her.
For him. Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, apparently there's 2 things that seem to be crossing political division lines these days, and that's abortion and shooting dogs.
Well, yeah. Heck yeah. Somebody in the comments said it was a puppy even. So
yeah, it was a puppy. Yeah, because the subtext is that what she really said was that she couldn't train it because she sucks at it, and then she shot it. So,
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
John Wick wouldn't stand for it. You know this.
Oh, no, John Wick 4 is going to be this plot. But yeah, like she put it in the book like it was a flex and even talked about it on TV. So it's like, well, okay. She said other dumb stuff too, but that was definitely top of the line dumb.
So. I've been hearing some ramblings about what she said and what she's backtracking on.
Yeah, she claimed that she met with Kim Jong-un, and it turns out she didn't. And I don't know why it matters either way. Like, I wouldn't claim I'd met him, and if I had, I'd probably hide it.
She claims she stared him down, like some kind of
as if that would
thing. Like, no, you did not. Nobody's staring that guy down. Not in his own country. Like,
Oh yeah, no kidding. Yeah. I wouldn't try that. Are you kidding me?
No, heck
Hell
no.
no.
I'd look to the floor. Yes,
No, I'd
sir.
pretend he
Can
wasn't
I
even there.
leave?
I'd be like, man, I see somebody in this
Yeah.
room. So yeah. So
Oh my
anyway,
God.
unfortunately, I was like, okay, if we're gonna do politics, then we're just gonna keep on going here.
Let's do it.
Other dumb stuff happened. Oh, in relation, here's an interesting sidebar for Christy Nome.
South Dakota has a syphilis problem.
Yeah. So now she is not the direct cause of this, but apparently syphilis was once thought to be on its way out. We almost had syphilis conquer in the United States, and a lot of people are raw dogging it, I guess, and it's coming back, but in
Oh
particular in
man.
South Dakota. Yeah, they've got some kind
All
of
kinds
crazy
of good
outbreak.
stuff coming back.
Yeah, I know, South Dakota. So anyway, yeah. It turns out though, the sad statistic that I was like, man, this sucks. So here's the cases in South Dakota. You can say that bottom line is 0. That's fine. The middle line
Ouch.
is 500.
That was
Yeah,
a
it's
good
kind of
time,
weird.
2019.
Yeah, you can tell. Well, I mean, honestly, I bet all STDs were down in 2020, so that'll happen.
And then the pandemic hit.
Yeah, and then it ended.
And then it ended, and everybody who thought they were going to die said, "Oh, we're still living."
Time to go. Yeah. So the unfortunate stat is that they if you break down the demo though, here's the cases of syphilis in South Dakota by ethnic group. Can you read that?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
American Indian.
Yeah, so, yeah.
Asian is 0.
I don't think they
Unknown.
yeah,
What's
unknown.
unknown?
Unknown. There's as many unknowns as Asians in South Dakota. That's what I'm taking away from this. Unknown.
Yeah.
Unknown.
Wow.
Yeah. So anyway, if you're going to be raw dogging in South Dakota, just to keep your eyes out.
Stick with the unknown.
Yeah. Unknown's got a pretty good track record so far.
It's
undefeated.
safer.
Yeah.
Rudy Giuliani fantasizes about a more racist Saturday Night Live in bizarre rant. SNL, Saturday Night Live, right? Yeah, he's trying to make it a little more racist for his taste, I guess.
He's a little upset. Yeah, he's like, why aren't there any racist jokes on SNL anymore? This is kind of what he's complaining about. Well, the answer is because we don't do those anymore, you old bastard.
Yeah, but it was a different time, dummy.
Yeah, that was wrong too. So, but the other thing is he said some kind of comment here. I'm going to read it directly because I'm going to misremember it. He actually was like saying like, they're too scared to be racist. So, but then he said something like, if you're not going to make fun of a black president, well, then you're a racist, aren't you? He's actually like, you had your chance.
What? That's
he also drinks a lot. I don't know if he's making any sense or not. Yeah, but So anyway, but he says I want to bring back the racism on SNL. And I was like, well, I don't know if that's going to help or hurt anything. But
can't you just make fun of presidents like regularly and equally?
I feel like you could. There's a lot of material. I don't know why you couldn't, but yeah, I mean, that's actually kind of my problem with it. Is like racist humor is like too easy. Like you come up with your own material. Like that stuff's old. Like get out of here. So
yeah.
That's
well, that guy's problematic anyway. Who cares what he thinks?
Yeah, he's bankrupt and drunk, and he's got a podcast that nobody listens to.
Oh,
let's see here. Then we got it. All right, now we get the fun stuff.
All right, Wisconsin man named D's Nuts pleads not guilty to whatever he was charged with.
That's a good headline. Yeah, boing boing.
That's perfect.
It is. It's a good headline because they're right. It doesn't matter what he was charged with. In fact, I read it and I've already forgotten, and we're not even going to talk about it. I just wanted to bring up that D's Nuts.
Well, I just want to know how that guy got the name. Did he change it, or was he?
Yeah, he legally changed his name to D's Nuts, so they have to call him that in court proceedings.
That's the best. That is the best.
Yeah, Mr. Nuts.
Perfect.
Yeah, good job,
man.
It all
came to fruition when he pleaded.
And I thought there was nothing worse than a neck tattoo, but there is.
F46 LGB federal lawsuit claims Ohio license plate request has nothing to do with Joe Biden or Brandon.
Yeah. So I have a soft spot for people that are getting upset about the DMV not approving their license plates. And actually, a true FARC related story. 1 year, somebody sued the DMV up in Maine, saying that there wasn't a legal statute by which that they were removing obscene names. And I forget what license plate he wanted. It wasn't that bad, but he said there was no legal standing for it, and the judge agreed and threw it out. So for about 5 years, you could get anything.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, boy. And
that's kind of okay.
They went for it, man. There was F-bombs and S-bombs. And I mean, it was just, they decided.
Well, they've changed. I mean, you just drive around Indiana and there's flags and yards that say, fuck Biden real big.
Yeah.
I mean, explain that to my daughter who just now knows how to read.
Exactly.
Okay.
Well, it's not literal. And also don't say that word in front of any grandparents. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, so that's going on.
whatever.
Like my favorite is like the guys like, and also like, I mean, even if it was not like illegal, you've got bumper stickers. In fact, I can tell this story. This is fun. So every morning I take my kids to school around 7:45. Somebody in my neighborhood, I don't know where they are, has a little maroon truck, and on the back in cursive script, large enough to read but kind of small, it says "Small dick, big dreams."
Yeah.
And I kind of like
that's funny. That is funny.
It's also a really effective strategy, you know, because you think about it, it's like, so nobody's really let down. Uh, and now they're going to be like, well, can you make it work? And he's going to be like, yeah. They're really like, well, all right, what's going on later? So yeah,
everybody gets a laugh.
Yeah, so it works out. So anyway, what happened in this case is that somebody in Ohio applied for the license plate F46 LGB, and then his attorney has basically their defense is that could mean anything.
Yeah.
Or could it? I mean, yeah, there's no telling, right? I mean, they said it might be about lesbians. You know, maybe there's a new fighter jet coming out.
Yeah.
So
a new keystroke on your keyboard.
Yeah, it could be. Yeah, they the problem they've got is though when they ask the guy's attorney, so but what does it mean? The attorney says, well, you know, it could be many things. Like, well, what does your client think it means? And he's like, well, I'm not going to tell you. Well, I think we all know.
It's none of your business.
Yeah, I think we can figure this out. But I do think it's pretty funny because, like, you know, for example, like if this is the exact same thing that got all the restrictions like eliminated up in Maine, so I might have to go buy my next car in Ohio and have a plate for about a year anyway.
Are they so did they lift the restrictions yet, or
no? The lawsuit is still pending. But that's the defense. That's a pretty weak defense, so I don't know that it's going to work. I mean, it could mean anything. It's like, yeah, okay, well, it sure could, but yeah. So anyway, not fooling anybody, but yeah. So I might be going to Ohio to buy a car real soon.
Yeah,
that happens. What else we got here? Oh yeah, here we go. Come on, load, you bastard. There we go.
All right, here we go. Patriots owner tells Putin, "Give me my fucking ring back." What happened?
So,
how did he get the ring?
Well, there's a little bit of a setup here. Why are we talking about it right now? So,
I don't know.
Roll it back a little. So for some reason, somebody talked Tom Brady into getting roasted over the weekend. And somebody asked me if I watched it. And I was like, no, because literally everybody there I'm really not big fans of. So I didn't.
Sure.
But a lot of weird things came out of it, including they made fun of Giselle for most of the reason, which is weird because they're supposed to be roasting Tom Brady and they're not even married anymore anyway. But one of the weirder things that popped up is that so there had been this rumor that in 2005, Robert Kraft went to Moscow and he got to visit Putin, and that Putin stole his Super Bowl ring.
Stole
it. And so this story came out at the roast. I'm going to have to read this because the details are weird. And he actually confirmed it. He said what happened is that so they were meeting there, and Putin said, "Can I see the Super Bowl ring?" So he was like, "Sure." So he hands the ring to Putin. Putin looks at it, puts it on, and then he says, "I'm gonna get this direct quote here." He puts it on, and then he says, "Yeah, here we go, right here." He said he liked the size, and he said, "I could kill someone with this ring." He said,
"Oh," and he slipped on his finger and made a fist.
Right. This is the guy who kills people regularly, so I'd be a little bit weird. But then he said that he removed the ring. Kraft put out his hand, and then Putin just put it in his pocket. And Kraft was like, "Okay, I guess he wants to hang on to it for a little bit longer, and I guess I'll get that back later." Nope, never did. Putin still has it.
Why didn't he stare him down like you do?
Yeah, exactly. Maybe because he was smart and he realized this man kills people.
Yeah. You don't want to be in a Soviet prison the rest of your days, which might be limited.
Not staring down Putin either, unless he's the only guy in the room, and maybe not even then. But yeah. No. In Russia, the preferred method of killing you is injecting you with polonium and throwing you down an elevator shaft. And I guess Kraft had better things to do than that. So yeah.
What a power move! Here, I'm going to put that in my pocket, and you're saying nothing.
Yeah.
Would you like another drink?
So anyway, I mean, I guess he just changed the subject there, but he never gave it back. So the reason why we didn't know about this until now, it was only a rumor, is that so Kraft basically was like, so, you know, he's like, when am I getting my ring back? And he's like, well, maybe he'll give it to me before I leave. And then they left, and he's like, maybe he'll mail it back. And like, you know, a month goes by, and he's like, so he contacted the George W. Bush administration to ask for guidance on this. And they said, in the interest of not starting an international incident, we'd like to request that you just let it go. And he's like, okay.
So does that mean they're dating now?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, or they're married or something like that. Yeah. Well, anyway, he won 5 more after that, so it's not like he needs it, but still,
Yeah, but
I'd be
when
mad
a
if Prince still played
dictator steals your ring.
Yeah, I'd be kind of mean. Yeah, I was like, I'd be angry. I get it. I'd be upset too. So, but it turns out that was real, and that's what came out this week. So, yeah.
Huh. Well, now it doesn't sound like he's gonna let it go. I wouldn't.
No,
let it go. I don't know,
he's still mad about it for sure. He brought it up the other day.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So, anyway, if there's any updates to this story, because I bet there won't be, because there's no way Putin's sending it back.
Yeah.
I will let you know. Yeah.
He's already pawned it to get some weapons.
Yeah, it turned into a tank.
It's 103 degrees. Tesla owner issues warning after accidentally locking herself in with no AC. And what's that say down there? Oh, I got to scroll up a little bit.
So there's no way out.
I couldn't even know because I got a little thingy on my screen.
No
way out. There it is.
No way out. Well, that's what I said, because so somebody submitted this, and I was like, okay, I know Teslas have a weird reputation for safety records and whatnot, but I was like, there has to be more to the story, and there is, but it wasn't what I was expecting. So it turns out it says most Tesla owners know, and I'm not one, so I don't know, that Tesla sends out software updates fairly regularly, and if you ever start running one, it takes between half an hour to an hour to update, and during that time, your car shuts the hell off, and this woman did it in her driveway when it was 100 degrees out. And the doors wouldn't open. The windows wouldn't open. The car was shut off.
Did she just stay in there until it was over?
She did. She got real lucky. It finished in enough time, but she was getting to the point where she's thinking about busting the window out because she was starting to die in there.
She looks okay.
So I don't know if anybody owns a Tesla, but just so you know, there's a little bit of a flaw with the design.
Good advice. So that old band joke, it took the band an hour to get the drummer out of the van after he locked himself in. That could be if it was a Tesla.
If you ran into a software update, and that might actually happen. So be careful.
All right. Dang.
And now you know.
It's a deadly world.
It is. Yeah, they really had to fix that. All right. Let's see here. What was the one I wanted to go with next? Where is the one I want to go with next? Hold on.
There's so many great articles.
Oh, no, that'll be okay. All right, never mind. We'll just do this one. All right. I had a better segue, but screw it. All right, here we go.
Council bans apostrophes on new street signs, sparking furious punctuation pendants to draw them in themselves with a marker and pen. That's called vandalizing.
It is, and it's against the law. Yeah, so this is like we had a regular feature on Fart called Torn from the Pages of the Bangor Daily News, which is in Bangor, Maine. And usually it'd be like, Farmer Larry lost a cow last week or whatever. So I kind of miss those really ridiculous, dumb articles. And so this is one, although it's kind of funny. So apparently, there's been a lot of problems since Brexit because, the Great Britain was adhering to EU rules on a lot of things. And so when they finally got out of Brexit, a lot of old EU, like UK rules took back over again. And one of them is that, and I don't know, I don't think they need this anymore, but they said that they've got a ban on putting apostrophes in street names because it messes up with the database. Now you can get around that these days, but that's what they said. What I think is funny is that if you banned apostrophes in my town, I don't know that anybody would notice. But apparently if you ban it in North Yorkshire, you're going to get hundreds of people showing up. And then what they're going to do is they're going to go run out with a Sharpie and they're going to put them right back where they came from.
Look at that. Look at that.
That's right.
Is that a proud vandalizer standing there?
It is. This man has been running all over town and replacing the missing apostrophes because it's
called restoration.
It's called boring justice. That's what it is.
Hey, that guy sleeps better at night.
I guess so. That's a weird hobby to have. But so what I like about it is that, so remember this is the theme. I couldn't find a trifecta for this, but the theme is people getting really upset over dumb stuff. So this is kind of lame, but this one's kind of funny.
Oh, Glasgow residents expressed concerns at city council meeting about car ordinance.
Yeah, so you saw these guys in here. They got a packed meeting right here. So this is not Scotland. This is West Virginia. And apparently, and you probably pronounced it right for West Virginia, by the way. I probably do call it Glasgow, I'm going to assume.
Yeah.
Almost everybody has at least one car in their front yard, and they want them to stop doing that.
What?
Yeah, like rednecks do, right? There's always cars in your front yard, right? And dogs inside them.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Everybody knows that.
Some of them actually run.
Yeah, so apparently there's an ordinance that nobody knew about. And so when they announced that they were going to start enforcing it, the whole town showed up and said, I thought this was America. I mean, literally, that's what somebody said.
Yeah. Yeah. I thought it was America until I heard this garbage.
Yeah. So they basically the entire town is refusing to move the cars in their front yards because America. And
Band
also,
together.
got
We
nowhere
the
to put 'em.
people.
Yeah. So I like that because it's so West Virginia, right? I mean, it's like here we go. Yeah, wait till they require people to go to the dentist. I mean, then outrage.
Yeah, they can't control our lives. Get out of our lives, government.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so I was looking for a trifecta on that one. I cannot find it, unfortunately. So I tried.
That's pretty good.
But anyway, complete non sequitur.
OpenAI considers allowing users to create AI-generated pornography. Nothing can go wrong with that.
No, nothing. Nothing currently is going. I mean, a lot of stuff is going wrong with it, actually. So, so OpenAI doesn't currently allow you to use their image generation to do anything with like nudity or sexual stuff or porn or whatever. But as you might expect, a lot of people want to do that. And OpenAI is having some internal conversations about how to allow it. And they've kind of arrived at a couple of hard no's, which is no deepfake stuff and then no celebrity stuff. Then at that point, I can't imagine because we've actually had this happen before where Google will basically stop ads on our site and they'll be like, well, that image has too much side boob. And we would be like, well, how much side boob is too much? And they won't tell us. So we actually have to sit around and discuss so what do you think too much side boob is? Like, what is it? 25%? So they're having conversations like that over at AI. How big of a penis can we let people draw on there? Who knows? But there's no way this ends.
What about the pornography industry? Are they up in arms about it? Because
I'm sure they are. I don't know. Actually, that's a good question. Maybe they don't care. I don't know.
How Stormy Daniels feel about all this?
Yeah. Well, we don't know. She wasn't asked today at trial, so
they should. That's the important questions. We need those questions asked.
It really is. Yeah. And did she ever shoot a dog? I don't think she ever did. But
probably not. I don't know, but I don't think so.
I don't think she.
I mean, I don't know her. I haven't followed her ever.
I don't know much.
Except for now at the trial, but
I'd never know who she was if it was up to me. But
Right. Me neither. Yeah. Computer models show heat waves in the North Pacific may be due to China reducing aerosols. China! Why are you doing this to us?
Yeah, so this isn't really a fringe thing, but it's an interesting concept. So, China's not real great with the whole pollution thing. Well, they're getting a little better. They're trying to improve. And they finally got around to banning aerosols recently, which welcome to the 21st century, China. Good job. And here's an image of what that looks like.
Aren't they slated to have more electric cars than us soon?
Well, they probably do already. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me. But yeah, apparently, so what they did was this map, this image up here shows, I mean, that's the world. That's kind of where China is. And that blue is, look at all those damn aerosols China's putting out. How dare they? Well, and then this is the amount of heat radiation that was absorbing. Well, that's gone now. And it turns out that they got rid of the aerosols, but it probably heated up the ocean because aerosols reflect heat.
I feel like we can't win.
No, can't, man. Thought we were supposed to get rid of those. They're like, oh, no, it makes it hotter. Well, what do you want me to do?
So do we go back to aerosols?
Do we more now? Should I break out the old deodorant and the whipped cream?
It's so confusing. I mean, I gave up Aquanet for this.
Oh man, seriously, that's rough. But so anyway, we can't win. But in the meantime, hopefully then they'll get a bunch of electric cars in, and that'll reduce the air pollution. Then it'll probably we'll have like a shark outbreak or something, or it'll make whales
probably. Exactly. Whales will be attacking us now.
Yeah. Of more whale attacks, they'll get smart and they'll grow thumbs. And so can't win.
Land sharks, a whole bit.
Yeah. Anyway, so thanks, China. Thanks for trying anyway, I guess. Yeah, good try. I thought that was a good move too, but oh well. There we go.
All right. Zero regrets. Firefox power user kept 7,500 tabs open for 2 years. I thought I was bad with all my tabs.
Yeah, and amazingly, this is not my wife, and that's not even a wife joke. Like, she really does this.
But how do they know? Did he just say? They
know because she accidentally closed the whole thing and then freaked out because I guess she was saving that for something, and then went online and asked, does anybody know if you can get that back? And it turns out you can if you do a bunch of stuff, and they gave her some instructions. and she managed to get it back up and got it going. But what we all learned about in the process is apparently Firefox is really good at not using your computer's resources. They said like the total like active memory usage of all those 7,500 tabs is like 20 meg, which is really small.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
So that's kind of impressed. Like, I don't know how you find anything, but I mean, it doesn't use up a lot of power. So good.
Did all those tabs opening at the same time crash their servers?
They said they got it back up. I don't know how. That's a really good question. Yeah,
wow.
you'd think I feel like if I opened 7,500 tabs all at once, something would blow up, but it didn't. So yeah, I don't know.
That's wild. That is wild.
Yeah, I don't do this, but I know people who do. So I pulled this out. Like, this may not be your article, but you probably know somebody, or maybe you are somebody who is. There we go.
Has a bunch of tabs.
Oh yeah, I mean everybody does. Like Heather's got a bunch of them, so I'm just like,
I do. I always do. I have several windows with several tabs.
Okay, well, you better switch to Firefox.
I'm going to get back to that later, and I never do.
Yeah. That's what she thinks. I know it's like.
Once a week, I shut them all down and I reboot this computer just before this show, just in case.
Does it bring them all back up again?
Yeah, I use Google, so yeah, you could just go to your history and hit the little thing. Okay. I mean, the most I've had is 75 tabs at one time.
Okay. Well, you're almost there. Almost there.
I'm trying. I'm working at it.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah. Actually, she called herself a tab hoarder, and I love that as a nickname, and I've been calling my wife that for as long as I can. So.
It could be worse.
Yeah, it could be. I mean, she could be a cat hoarder. 7,500 cats would not work out the same way.
Yeah.
Not work out.
Ancient people lived longer than you think. I thought they only lived to like 29. Look at that.
Yeah. So I'd heard this before too, but I'd never read a specific article addressing it. And it's actually fairly interesting. So average lifespans have been dramatically increasing over time. And in fact, up until like 5 years ago, they were the best they'd ever been. We've kind of rolled back a little bit because people won't get COVID vaccines, but self-correcting problem in the long term, I figure, right?
Also syphilis.
Yeah, it's syphilis. Yeah, I don't think that kills you. I just think that makes you really unhappy and makes you want to conquer Europe. Something.
Yeah.
If you're French.
Which could get you killed in the end.
Yeah, which then gets you killed. Right. Yeah, so it's a circle of life. But yeah, so this article is really cool. They said basically the problem with it is that, well, average life expectancy isn't average. And the problem is that up until recently, infant and child mortality was really high. They said, in fact, it's like 1 in 5 babies died before they were born, and half of all children died before they were age 10.
Good grief.
Right. So then if you run an average on that, that's a lot of single-digit lifespans. It turns out it brings it all down. So that's why everybody thinks the lifespan was like 40. Well, if you average 80 and 0, it's 40. And so they said they did have people that made it that long. They said, in fact, if you made it past 10, you were probably going to do pretty good. As long as you didn't step on a rusty nail or drink anything with color in it or catch the plague or, all those other things.
Man. Yeah, and then once you get to up there, you're strong enough. Like you proved yourself, maybe.
Yeah, well, also you have to be rich.
Rusty nail.
If you're rich and you've got like good health practices, if you're rich, well, as always, right? Of course, those guys live.
That's how it is now.
I know. No, well, it turns out nothing's changed other than not that many people die early. And they're not throwing the average.
That's good. Hey, we fixed something at least.
Progress, everybody. So yeah, there you go. And math
there it is. Cracked magazine.
Yeah, they do good stuff now.
Nicolas Cage will play the father of Christ in a new horror movie. I'm in. I'm 100% in. I don't care what it's about.
Yeah, so I had to read the article because I could think of 2 characters that might be. It turns out I think it's going to be Joseph. And so they're doing an interesting thing. So initially, the joke is like, why are they going to do a horror movie based on Jesus being a bastard? But it turns out what they're actually doing is there's an apocryphal gospel, the Gospel of Thomas, and it's apocryphal because it was written a lot later than the other ones, so it didn't quite make the cut. It's also weird because it talks about Jesus' childhood, which the Bible kind of doesn't say anything about. It's like he gets out of Bethlehem, and then all of a sudden he's baptizing John the Baptist. Like it's just kind of like this time jump when he shows up. So the Gospel
about his teenage years.
Right. Well, that's what the Gospel of Thomas is about. But the Gospel of Thomas implies that when he was a teenager, he was a bastard. He was a kid, right? So, but he had all the powers of Jesus. So he was going around and like he would kill other people. Like really crazy stuff. So I guess somebody, especially if you were Jesus, because I guess Jesus didn't like get like all nice like that until after he had to get all the killing out of the way first. You
grow up a little when you.
Yeah. Well, to be fair, they killed him because it was like God wanted him dead. So I guess, is that okay? I think maybe, I don't know. I'm not.
There's a lot to unpack there. I can't
Yeah.
wait to see the movie so I can truly understand history.
Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, they're going to do that. It'll be great. So I guess I think that what's implied here is that Jesus is going to be the villain in a horror movie. I don't feel like that's going to cause any controversy. Do you?
Nah. There's
Yeah,
too
you
much
should
other
be
stuff to
fine.
worry about. This
Yeah,
this
nobody's
is
going to
old
notice. Nobody's going
old
to
stuff.
notice.
Nobody
Yeah,
cares.
it's going right under the radar. It's going to just make $5 million, and yeah, there's no way anybody's going to notice.
I will watch it. I promise you.
Me too. Speaking of horror,
Oh, Darth Jar Jar revealed in Disney's latest Star Wars special trailer. Are you kidding me? Is this a joke?
yeah, no, he's in there. Here, we'll watch the trailer real quick, then I'll explain what the deal is.
Nah.
So I actually can't quite tell what this is about. It sounds like everything like gets mixed up in Lego.
Space. Time. It's falling apart.
The wormhole thing.
The galaxy are getting mixed up. This doesn't make any sense. Worlds will change. People will change in ways we cannot possibly imagine.
I don't love that.
This is wild. X-Wing TIE fighters? Ewok bounty hunters?
That's a good idea.
Yeah. More Lego kits to buy?
I'm going to hurt you, sir.
Darth Jar Jar?
Yeah.
Yes.
Great.
It's going to be a movie, or they're just going to have kits, or what's going on?
Well, I'm sure they're selling toys against it. Is that going to be a movie or a TV show? One of those.
I guarantee they're going to have some.
Yeah.
Mark Hamill's lending the voice.
Yeah, they got Mark Hamill back to do it, and they got Ahmed Best to do Jar Jar, so that's going to be fun.
All right.
Yeah.
I mean,
so the secret history of Darth Jar Jar is kind of fun because there's a few subreddits out there where they're trying to do stuff like one of the fan theories that are way out there but don't entirely not make sense. Like my favorite's the one that all Pixar movies happen in the same universe. Like that's pretty cool. You gotta just put real backflips to make that one work, but it's pretty cool. Well, anyway, one of the ones that my favorite one from Star Wars is that Jar Jar was actually a Sith Lord.
Yes, I've heard that one.
Yeah, and the idea was basically if you watch what he does, everything he does causes damage to the Republic, and eventually he's the one that ends it because he votes to basically install the Emperor. And so the joke is if also you watch him during like the fight scenes where he's like out there, they have these like pratfall things where he kind of falls and accidentally lands on, like gets his head stuck up another robot and that thing starts shooting everybody. But it looks a lot like the force powers they gave Han Solo, where he's like shooting over his back or whatever. And so they were saying that he's force active and he's just pretending to be an idiot, but in reality, he's a Sith Lord plant, and he's one of the most powerful Sith Lords in the galaxy, and he's the guy that destroys the Republic as a result. I like that one.
They have to do something because he's terrible as just a regular guy.
Yeah,
like
they really should do that. They should make that canon because that'd be great. Because like you would salvage
100%,
not the whole thing, but it would make it a lot more interesting.
100%, yes.
Yeah,
because he's such a terrible character.
In fact, can you imagine if like Lucas had pulled that as like the gotcha surprise and like the last of the in the first prequel, like right at the end?
I would have been
like, oh, by the way,
so happy. Yes, I would.
Yeah, we'd have been like,
happy.
Whoa, yeah.
I was yelling at Jar Jar the whole time, like you idiot.
What are you doing? Get this guy off my screen. What is this? It's all poop jokes and this idiot. Yeah, it's much better if he's a Sith Lord. So, but they're gonna do it. They're gonna do it.
All right,
Sith Lord Jar Jar. Where am I here? I can't figure out. Okay, there we go.
After a serious car accident, a man pulled over and continued to help for days.
Yeah. What? So this is from a podcast that NPR has. NPR has 1,000 podcasts. I don't listen to any of them. I can't find anything. But they do have one about strangers helping you, and in particular, like trying to find people who had strangers help them. So this is actually a really cool story. But then the guy who submitted it pointed out one huge flaw in this whole thing. Let me do the story first. So the story is that this woman and her husband and their 2 dogs were out and they got into a car wreck somewhere like in the middle of Arizona. And like one of the dogs and the woman needed to go to the hospital and they were covered in blood, but they couldn't get anybody to stop because nobody wanted to pick up bloody dogs and people on the side of the highway. Kind of get it. I mean, I understand. I'm not saying I wouldn't, but I'd think twice. Right. But anyway, eventually they flagged down a trucker who pulled over and stopped, picked her up and the dog, put them both in the cab, took the dog to the animal hospital, took her to the real hospital, and then everybody survived, which is really cool. And then also what was wild is that for the next 3 days, because they didn't have a car, the trucker came back and gave her husband a ride to the hospital at least once or twice a day for 3 days.
Oh,
and so
to see her.
So the podcast is that they're not in touch with this guy, and they want to reconnect with him. Isn't that like touching, right?
Yeah.
Can you tell there's another piece coming?
There's got to be something else. Sounds like a horror movie.
Well, as the submitter pointed out, the next time you get in a car accident and somebody saves your life by taking you to the hospital and helps you out for 3 days by giving you rides back and forth, your husband, make sure you get their name and phone number, because she doesn't know either of them. They have no idea who this guy is. 3 days. Nobody ever's like, hey, by the way, what's your name? Thanks, man. Nobody ever asked. They don't know who he is.
Well,
kind of embarrassing.
Maybe it was Jesus. Maybe it was Jesus.
Yeah, maybe it was bad Jesus. Maybe it was Nick Cage Jesus. Yeah.
Did they find the guy then or no?
Not yet, I don't think. If anybody out there in the comments knows better than I do about that, let me know.
Yeah, here it is right here. It was teenage Jesus.
Oh, good. Well, that explains a lot.
Yeah,
there you go. Yeah, Ox 45 tall boy. No, I mean they don't know this guy's name, and he spent 3 days driving them back and forth to the hospital. Okay, well,
we're gonna find out later that guy is one of those truck driving serial killers you hear so much about, and just these people were already hurt, so he didn't want to do his thing. Yeah. So
maybe he ran him off the road and he was embarrassed. He's like,
"Oh yeah, that's it." Yes.
I'm going to go to jail if I tell you who I am. So So anyway, if that ever happens to you, make sure you ask at least at some point during those 3 days who that guy is. So we got this.
Missing dogs found with altered appearances in Connecticut. What?
So a few weeks ago, we had an article about how there's a mad cat shaver in the UK somewhere.
Yeah.
This is like that, but it's a little bit weirder. So this guy's he's shaving dogs. But not only that, but one of the ones they found had been dyed purple.
Oh, well, okay. That's better than genetically altering them.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. So they don't know why somebody's shaving the dogs and dyeing them purple. There you go. There's the one. There's a before or after photo here somewhere. There you go. Look. There you go.
Oh.
So, yeah.
Oh my gosh. So the owners get the dogs back, or do they find the dogs out and about?
Yeah, they've been finding them occasionally, and they've either been shaved or dyed purple for some reason. I don't know why you would dye a dog purple.
What in the world?
Yeah. So anyway,
strange world.
Yeah. So if you live in Connecticut and you let your dogs out, well, I mean, if your dog needs a haircut, I have some good news.
Yeah.
If you want your dog to be purple, I have some more good news. But you don't want either of those things.
You're happy.
Yeah. Hang on to your dogs because somebody in Connecticut's gonna grab it and turn it purple.
Wild times in the USA continue.
Always, every week.
Police respond to a 911 call to wish East Boston man a happy birthday. Oh, that's so good.
Isn't that great? So this could have gone bad. This could have been really bad for a number of reasons, actually. So what happened is that there's a subtext here that they didn't say, but I like how the story played out because nobody died. That's always a good thing when these things happen. This man here on the body cam, that's him answering the door with the cops showing up with the cake for him. What happened is it was after midnight and he called 911 to see if anybody wished him a happy birthday. Well, in most towns, first responders are required to go take a look and see what's going on, regardless of what you asked for. So they got his address and they went over there. Just in case nothing was going wrong, they decided they better pick up a cake on the way. That's what they did.
Very smart.
Yeah, nothing was going wrong. I think probably that dude was high out of his mind and drunk or something, but he hadn't killed anybody. He just wanted somebody to wish him a happy birthday. And luckily the cops brought a cake and didn't kill him in his own doorway.
I was going to say alcohol must be involved.
I mean, something was for sure. Yeah. But he got lucky. They brought him a cake instead of gunning him down. And they made it a feel-good story, which is great. And,
that's cool. Good. Isn't that illegal to call 911 falsely, I guess? Or
I mean, it seems like I think I've been told that, but I don't know how illegal. Like, I know if you call them a bunch of times, they'll arrest you for sure, but I don't know what they charge you.
Yeah. They probably tell us that to scare us so we don't keep calling them.
It's our parents told us that, so we'd never do it. Like those trees that have those red berries that they told us were all poisonous. Remember those?
Yeah.
Well, they can't be.
Those aren't poisonous?
Well, that's what they told us, but they can't be because nobody died, right? I mean, some kid at some point was like, what's this taste like? No, they just wanted us not to eat them, I'm pretty sure. Can't be poisonous. They wouldn't have them on school grounds if they were.
Well, I'm going to continue to say they're poisonous.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, because they do stain the hell out of your clothes. That might be the problem. I think. But anyway, yeah, that's a good story.
Make you go to the bathroom pretty harsh.
Something happens when you eat them that's not great.
Right.
And finally,
I'm sure of it. Oh, zoogoers are outraged to discover panda exhibit was actually dogs dyed black and white. Well, China took all our pandas, so what are we supposed to do?
Oh, no, this is in China, so apparently they don't have enough.
Oh,
yeah, so these are
wait a minute.
A breed of Chinese dog that don't look like this unless you color them.
Did they dye them as a Connecticut dye job right there?
Well, Connecticut seemed unprofessional. This looks pretty good. Like if you actually wanted, I mean, you could tell me this is a panda, and if I'd had a couple beers, it would take me a little bit to figure this out.
Yeah. I mean, if you would have never told me they were dogs, I'd be like, okay, maybe.
Yeah, it said
curly tails that give it away.
Yeah, it said they're actually chow chow dogs. That's what they are, which apparently look like pandas if you color them like that. Look how cute though. That's great. I kind of want one now, but I don't think that's how they come. Like they probably are all one of those colors. I don't know which one.
I heard a rumor that chow chows are kind of mean sometimes. I don't know if that's true.
I don't know. Yeah, they look cute, so that they got that going for them.
Yeah, that looks like a cute dog.
Yeah, I like this because this was a great sort of like follow up to the story we had earlier. I think it was last year where there was a zoo in China where they were accusing them of having people dressed in panda costumes instead of actual pandas.
Oh, yes. I remember that.
And their excuse was they're like, no, it's pandas. It's a particular species of panda that looks like a guy in a suit, which doesn't really convince me, but I think it's true. Just it doesn't sound like a real
weird. What's going on over there? We'll never know.
We'll never know. It's because all the aerosol stopped is what happened, and now it's getting warmer. Now they're painting their dogs, and
people are getting nutty.
Yeah, so here it is. Anyway,
wow,
that's what happened this week.
That's it. We're done.
That's it. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, it seems like it's barely been an hour.
I know. Yeah, we kind of squeaked right in there. It worked out pretty good. Yeah, I tried a new format last week when it was just you and me, and it worked great. Where I realized that since there's less of us talking, the talking.
Yeah, you just give me the wildest headlines to read that are the most disgusting and disturbing, and I roll right through. Right.
I was looking for it, but the problem was it's like the most disgusting one was the RFK brainworm, and that kind of got mainstream. So I was like, well, it couldn't really surprise you with any this week.
That's more disturbing than disgusting. I mean, it's not. Yes, it's nobody wants that, but it's really more disturbing than disgusting.
Yeah, it is. I just like it that he told everybody during his divorce that he was cognitively impaired because of this, and now apparently it doesn't matter at all.
Oh, well, you got to be cognitively impaired to be in office nowadays, so it's all good.
It's a requirement. So we got a floor question. What happened to Stein? She's got jury duty. I asked her if she had. I asked her if she had jury duty this week, and she said no, she didn't, because she told the judge that she wanted to have the defendant executed on site. But that, like I told Dill before, it's like I just realized, as before we started, that I'm not sure if that's a yes or a no. So, and then sometimes she takes a nap. He doesn't make it. So, so she's up to it stuff. So we'll get her back.
People would rather hear her read these headlines than me. That's a guarantee right now.
Yeah. Well, the other problem is I have to lower the amount of sex stuff because you and I don't know anything about it. She's the expert.
Right.
There was one in the Smoking Gun where there was a guy who assaulted his wife with a pink dildo because she said that he couldn't keep it up and he needed Viagra. And so I guess that's the first thing he thought to do. And the problem is I don't know if that works. So I figure Christine does. She's done.
Look at us. We are. We don't have anything to say about it. We don't know.
Yeah, I know. I'm sure. Yeah, okay. I guess I didn't even run it. I'm like, that's all I got. Yeah, because we had one about hoo-haws last week, and I'm like, I don't know what I'm talking about here. Yeah, it was the South Korean salmon sperm injections to make everything cool down there, or something. Yeah. I mean, I literally don't know what it does. Like you were asking me, and I'm like, it doesn't say. I have no idea.
I need answers too. You see,
I don't know what can be done. I don't even know. So yeah, we need to get her back so we can do those stories.
She's our sexpert.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and luckily he'll be back too. He's busy. So he's just gonna pop up one of these days. So we'll see how that goes. But I'm hoping
one of these days.
Yeah, I mean he'll definitely what he's got going on. He'll be done definitely by the time the FARC thing rolls around in October. So I'm hoping, like I said, Plan B is we'll live stream it on stage. Plan A is we'll do something way better than that. Or maybe both. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, that sounds like a lot of fun to me. I'm ready.
It's gonna be a lot of fun, dude. I did something similar. I took a dry run at this already, as you know. I invited everybody I knew to my 50th birthday party about a year and a half ago.
Oh, I do know. I got pretty drunk.
Yeah. Oh man, I have not been that drunk in a long time.
I have a picture of you and me somewhere, and I have to look it up, but you are flabbergastingly drunk.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
One of the best pictures. You can just see that nothing is going on.
Yeah. I fell down like 6 times on the way back from the bar, and we were staying only like half a block away.
Half a block. I carried boxes of leftover pizza back and put them in the fridge and forgot about them.
Yeah, that's okay. It's an Airbnb. I'm sure they get that going. But yeah, I woke up that day at 1 o'clock in the morning, still raging drunk. Like the hangover hadn't even started yet. And I was like, oh man. So the reason I'm telling this story is I'm pretty sure it's going to happen again. Is what I'm saying.
Yeah, you're planning. You're planning ahead.
We'll do that twice. I already got this down. We've done it once. We also know that Scalzi can really DJ, so that's good. We got that going for us.
Yeah, I thought maybe, I don't not believe in people at all, but I thought, oh no, he's just going to play some tunes.
Oh,
and
yeah.
then he
good.
really DJ'd, professionally.
Yeah, he's like pro level. He's like, actually the guys who run the bar who don't like blow smoke about anything said like, not only is he really good, but everybody who was in the bar that wasn't there for the party was like, who is this guy? Because they were like, they said he's definitely like, he's not as good as a professional stadium DJ, but he's way better than anybody who does like weddings and bar mitzvahs and stuff. Like,
he is one air horn away from a professional stadium DJ.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, if he gets that, yeah. Yeah. So
what's the date of this thing? August what?
August 12th.
When is it? August 12th.
Yep.
August 12th.
It's a good time to do something in Lexington because the horse track will be running too, which is a good reason to go day drink and lose a bunch of money. It's also fun.
That looks like a Monday.
I got another Ford question here. It's wide over Hopkins because he sold out. Yeah. Well, so technically, yeah. It turns out that they loved making Woodstock, but they could never make it actually profitable. And then they were donating all the profits to the Comic Legal Defense Fund, I think, or what? It wasn't that. It was like the fund that, it's a retirement fund for comic book artists who, sold Superman to DC for $50 and then died without any money, which happened a lot. And anyway, sorry, and we got from the. It's October. I might have said August. It's October. Thanks.
Okay. Okay.
I said August. October. The other month.
There it is.
Yeah. So that's what happened there. Yeah, that was a really great event, but basically, it didn't make any money. And when the new owner came in, they got rid of everything that didn't make any money. And so that's what happened. I've heard they're still doing Wood Stout. They're just not doing HopCon because it didn't make any money. So.
Boo on that guy.
Yeah, I know it's too bad, but I get it. Makes sense.
I'm putting that in my calendar right now. FARC party.
It's one of the best times to be in Kentucky. Like I said, the horse races are going. We got a lot of fall festivals. Made a lot of fall. Like if you just wanted to go to fall festivals that weekend, you wouldn't go to all of them because you couldn't do it. That's how many there.
Yeah. I hear they have some booze down there too. So.
Oh yeah, everywhere. It's everywhere. Yeah. Yeah. If you want to go see some bourbon distilleries, there's 20 within 15 miles of Lexington, and they're all kind of lined up, so you can go from one to the other. So yeah. It's not pretty good. But don't drive or have somebody drive you.
I'm sure they have a pretty profiting Uber system down there or taxi system or something.
So it's no problem getting out of the city in an Uber, but sometimes it's difficult to get back in, depending on how far out you go. So if you're in the city, you go from point to point, you're good. If you go from like Lexington to like say Woodford Reserve, you'll be able to get there. And then I don't know, like good luck.
What's Woodford Reserve do? Put you up for the night outside in the grass or something?
This has to be a common problem for them because I bet people do it all the time. So I would be willing to bet they have a system now, but I don't know what that system is, and maybe they don't. So just in case, you call it
self-driving buses.
They just have one big bus at the end of the day. Anybody who's still there gets a ride back to downtown Lexington.
Yeah, they just drop them off, say get out.
yeah, we'll get you that far. That's where all the Ubers are. So yeah,
that'll be $100 each.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and you got to wear this T-shirt that says Woodford Reserve for a week. At least.
Perfect. Worth it.
So yeah, cool. So you got band practice coming up tonight.
I do. Yep. Right after this, I'm going up there and drink some bourbon and play some.
There you go. I'm gonna go work in my local bar. I'm either gonna code or write. I haven't figured it out yet. I did writing yesterday, so maybe it'll be coding today or something. I don't know. The other weird thing is like I keep out of habit thinking that my weekends are completely slammed, and for some reason they haven't been. And I think that's on deck again. I don't think I'm doing anything this weekend. But I have 3 teenagers, so it's not like it's hard to find somebody to do something with. It's just.
Well, if the audience is so inclined, you can go to Spotify or any streaming service and look up Union Suit Rally and see our new album that just came out last month.
Union Suit Rally.
Union Suit Rally. Give it some jams.
Excellent.
I think it's pretty good. I'm pretty proud of it. So
yeah, you guys are pretty good because if I remember right, don't you you're not allowed to enter Battle of the Band contest anymore, right?
Well.
Not
they
exactly
changed the Battle of the Bands to just a show because we kept winning it.
You kept winning, yeah. That was probably
but
kept
I
winning.
I don't know.
They're good.
I mean,
they're good. So
we have fun. We have fun. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah. Is it on YouTube Music? Is the question?
Yep, it's on all the streaming services.
All the streaming services. So yeah, Union Suit
Rally. Send it up now. Hash it out later. Is the new album dropped last month.
I'm gonna go check that out too. Very cool.
Yeah.
Well, cool, man. Have a good time at music practice. I'm going to go do a little more work before I shut down and drink too much, the usual.
Yes. All right. Well, it's been a blast.
Anytime. Thanks a lot. We'll see y'all next week.